Saint Maria Goretti, the girl who forgave her killer. What would you do if someone tried to take your dignity and your life? Could you forgive someone who hurt you in the worst possible way? This is not a story from fiction or a movie. This is the true story of a 12-year-old girl who did something that challenges even the strongest hearts. She forgave the man who murdered her. Her name was Maria Goretti. Born in 1890 to a poor Italian family, Maria Goretti grew up with deep faith but very little comfort. Her father died young, and Maria, the third of 7 children, took over many household duties while her mother worked in the fields. They lived in shared quarters with another family, the Serenellis. It was the son, Alessandro Serenelli, a troubled 20-year-old, who began to have impure thoughts toward the young Maria. Despite his repeated advances, Maria always refused, firmly but with purity and grace. She told him plainly, "No, Alessandro, it is a sin. God does not want this." On July 5th, 1902, Alessandro confronted Maria while she was alone. Once again, she resisted. Enraged by her refusal, he stabbed her 14 times. She was found bleeding but alive, rushed to the hospital, and underwent surgery without anesthesia. In her final hours, a priest asked if she forgave her attacker. Her reply? "Yes. For the love of Jesus, I forgive him, and I want him to be with me in heaven." She died the next day. She was only 11 years old. Let's pause for a moment. We hear stories of saints and think, that's beyond me, that's another world. But Maria's story is so real, so raw, so human. She wasn't a nun. She didn't perform miracles. She was a poor peasant girl, uneducated, barefoot. And yet, she was rich in courage and rich in mercy. We live in a world that says, get revenge, stand your ground, don't let anyone hurt you. But Maria Goretti teaches us another way. Real strength is in forgiveness. Real purity is in love. Real courage is in choosing heaven even while on earth. Her forgiveness wasn't weakness, it was the ultimate act of strength. And what happened to Alessandro? He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. For years, he showed no remorse. But one night, Maria appeared to him in a dream, glowing, peaceful, and offering him 14 lilies, one for each of the wounds he had given her. He woke up sobbing. That moment began a deep transformation in his soul. He repented. When he was released after 27 years, his first act was to find Maria's mother and beg for forgiveness. And she said, "If my daughter forgave you, how could I not?" He later became a lay brother at a monastery, lived a life of penance, and even attended Maria's canonization in 1950. Standing before thousands, he publicly declared, "Maria forgave me. I am now living for Christ." Friends, we all carry wounds. Some are deep, some are fresh. And forgiveness might feel impossible. But Saint Maria Goretti shows us that forgiveness is not forgetting. It's freeing. Forgiveness is not letting someone get away with it. It's letting God handle the justice, and you choosing peace. She didn't die with hatred in her heart. She died with the name of Jesus on her lips, and love even for her killer in her soul. If an 11-year-old girl can forgive something so terrible, maybe you and I can take one step toward forgiving someone today. If this story moved you, share it. Not just to honor Maria, but to remind the world that mercy is real, and forgiveness is not weakness, but the strongest force in the human soul. Let's carry Maria's legacy in our own lives, with courage, with purity, and above all, with love.